I was saying, I never thought it was COVID, and then it was. And I never had it before, knowingly. So it was quite an experience. Anyway, back to normal now, which is good. But for those who are expecting emails or invoices to be paid or anything, this really threw me for a couple of days. So I'm catching up with everything now. But I'm glad we're here this morning. So for those who are new, we've got a couple of new people, which is great. We are going to go very quickly around the Zoom, where everybody will have the opportunity to introduce themselves, say what they are doing, ask for help, or promote something interesting they are doing. And remember to put all information you want to share with the group in the chat. The chat will be circulated after the meeting with a list of attendees. Okay, so I'm going to call you as I see you on my screen. As you know, it sometimes jump about. So if I forget you at the end of the meeting, please let me know. However, if by error I call you twice, don't be shy. Just grab the slot again and make your pitch again. You know, that's what we are here for. Okay, so I'm going to start actually with our host and speaker today, Francis, who is first on my screen, as it happens.
I have one question for you.
Followed by Mike. So, oh, by the way, I'm going to mute everybody. The power of, can I do that? Mute all.
I have one question.
Hang on. You must unmute yourself, Francis.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Morning, everybody. Nice to be here. I want you to think about your suppliers. I don't know if you've seen what happened with the police, but basically their IT provider got hacked. Subsequently, the police got hacked. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, how secure is my supplier? So if they were to get hacked, what data of yours will be lost, and how would you feel about that supplier? I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. We look forward to hearing your talk later. Mike is going to be followed by Olivier. Unmute yourself. I've muted everybody.
My usual mistake. Sorry, Annie. Yeah, morning, everyone. I'm Mike Burton from Mycosystems. So I write software. So essentially that's to integrate and enhance your business systems. This makes them more consistent and efficient, and obviously saves time and money. But I think more importantly, it saves chaos. So if you're storing into your systems different data, if the systems are out of sync, out of step, not up to date, you're making valuable, important business decisions on vulnerable, risky information. So you really need to check, look at your business systems. Everyone has business systems now. You all have Xero or QuickBooks, Office 365, or for your emails. And so just look at all those systems and see if they talk to each other. And if they don't, then talk to me, Mike Burton from Mycosystems.
Thank you, Mike. Olivier will be followed by John Pantol.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to be here. My name is Olivier, and as you know, I specialize in business scale-up with a view to sell the business. My sweet spot is for companies between 600K to 6 million turnover. I also work with small companies, and I don't know if you've noticed, but this year has been a very interesting year. And for many business, it's been a fantastic year. But maybe not for everybody. It's either one of two ways. Either it's going really well, or not so well. Peaks and troughs, just too many of them. And that's why I look forward to presenting this 3-month program to help companies go from peaks and troughs to more stable income. It's about time things change for some of them. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivier. John will be followed by Dexter.
Morning, everybody. John Pentle from Penn Telecom. We're a telecom service provider. You should now be aware that 5th of September has come and gone, and anybody with an analog phone service, ISDN lines are now locked in place. You cannot do anything with them other than wait for the death knell at the end of 2025. We have lots and lots of replacements that are available for single lines, for alarm lines, for lift services, all those sort of things that you're not going to be able to do anything with more at all until they're switched off. finally. So if you're stuck with that, give me a shout and we can resolve something for you, possibly at prices that are less than you're currently paying for the old analog services. My name's John Pentle, the company is Penn Telecom, and always remember, if you've got BT, we can cure it.
Thank you. Dexter will be followed by Tanya.
Good morning, everybody. It is really good to be here with you. What do? I'm a award-winning, in fact, multi-award-winning sales coach and presentation skills coach. And currently I'm working with a supply chain producer who helping my clients win the business through their presentation, through their pitching, and having conversations with their clients to win more business. So if you know anybody who is either terrified of standing up or doing what Francis is doing today, to pitch, to sell, and to understand how to influence and persuade people, then I'd love to speak to them. Once again, lovely to be here with you.
Thank you, Dexter. Tanya will be followed by Gary.
Morning, everybody. I'm Tanya from Iconis Group. We are a commercially minded law firm. We're a friendly bunch of very good communicators. We provide outcome-focused legal advice, most importantly, adding money to your bottom line. We work in the legal areas of commercial and corporate law, GDPR, data protection, intellectual property, contracts and terms and conditions. We offer fixed fees where we can. So if you know any business that's looking for legal advice, then send them our way. It's lovely to meet you all.
Thank you, Tanya. Gary will be followed by Karen.
Morning, everybody. September, back to school for the kids. Those where, well, put it this way, for those where the schools are still open and aren't suffering from problems with concrete. However, for business, it should also be back to school at the moment. So I've got a back to school program, which is a cohort of 6 people, 6 businesses over a 3-month period, looking to help you grow your business and working together as a team to support each other and grow your business. So if there's anybody who would be interested or knows of any companies who would be looking to find how to grow your business as part of a cohort, please pass on my details. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Karen will be followed by Sheldon.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So Karen Pavlovska from Take One TV, and following Dexter's lead, an award-winning video production company. It's the first award we've won for a long time, but we haven't actually gone in for any for a long time. So we were rather chuffed to get that award. And we make videos for businesses that actually help them be more successful by attracting more clients to them. At the moment, we've got 3 schools lined up to go and do tours around the schools as introductions to new parents. So those obviously seem to be a good area for us at the moment. So if you know of any schools that might look at having video as their introductory piece, that would be really useful. And I think the key to that is that it's often not just the parents, it's the grandparents and the friends and the family that want to know that their children are going to the right place and going to be looked after. And it's not about the maths and the English and that, it's actually more about the culture of the school. Are they going to be happy there? So that's Karen from Take One. Lovely to see you all.
Thank you, Karen. Sheldon, welcome. You will be followed by David Taylor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me over, Anik. I really do appreciate it. So I've joined Francis's team at Security Everywhere about 2 months ago, come in as the account executive, just to help build those relationships with the new clients and manage relationships with the existing ones. As you know, we're a small team focused 100% on security, but at Security Everywhere, our goal is to give SMEs the same protection as the big enterprises and protect their brand, money, as well as their team. And how we do that is we offer 4 enterprise cybersecurity services, which are all rated #1 in the world by Gartner. And that's consists of email security, computer security, password security, as well as backup and recovery. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, but it's so lovely to meet you all.
Yeah, good to meet you, Sheldon. Thank you. David will be followed by Florence.
Good morning, everybody. David Taylor from In Sue's Name, raising money for brain tumor research, raising awareness of this terrible disease, trying to help families who've been through the same trauma. We have up to date raised £470,000 towards our £1 million target, which goes to the Blizzard Institute in Whitechapel, who are researching grade 4 glioblastoma, which is what killed our little daughter after a short 6-week illness. We have our first annual quiz on October the 9th. I put the details in the chat, and that's been organised by our own Jeremy Silverstone, who is a fantastic quizmaster for anybody who's attending one of his quizzes. If you're interested, I have put the details of our website where you can book on. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, David. Florence will be followed by Vijay.
Morning all, I'm Florence Stedman. I'm a trainee solicitor with Iconos Law Firm. This morning I'm piggybacking off France's topic for today to flag data protection to you. Do you have a website that collects customer data? Do you have a privacy policy and cookies policy displayed on your website? My call to action today is anyone that processes data that needs their privacy policy or cookies policy revising or advice about their data protection obligations. Do you review your service providers and the data you collect and process annually? If not, I can advise you on the process for this. Yesterday, we delivered a brilliant training program on data protection, cybersecurity, advising on processes for dealing with subject access requests and data breaches. Is this something you and your company could benefit from? If you need legal assistance with data protection, please get in touch by sending your inquiry to legal@iconos-group.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I just want to jump in here because it's quite amusing. I don't know if you remember a little man called Nigel Farage. He recently managed to get two big heads of NatWest and Coates to resign because they were holding data on him, and he had the right to ask with a SAR, and realized they had a 40-page document on him which had nothing to do with his financial affairs. And my God, I mean, they had to pay a heavy price for it. And of course, Nigel Farage has been loving it ever since, you know, and his fading star has been revived as a result. Incredible. But it is amazing. People have the right to ask what information is held by any company, and it is an obligation to disclose that information. And as Nara Farage found out, with interesting consequences. So here we go. Anyway, so Vijay, you will be followed by Dr. K.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vijay Kaspekar, high performance coach from Coaching for Results. My coaching will give you clarity and confidence in all aspects of your business and will maximize your potential to get you peak performance. As a business catalyst, which I will be for your business, I have over 30 years experience having run companies successfully in the UK. And as business catalyst, I can help you to get there also in terms of success and get your results to a higher level. I have a 4-pillar framework that will give you the confidence, that will give you the strategy and the actions to go further, but I will hold you accountable for your actions. And if you're ambitious and agreeable to your accountability, then I'm the right business coach for you. My details are in the chat. I'd love to talk to you today, or please contact me at a later date. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay. Dr. K will be followed by Mark.
Morning, everyone. My name's Catherine with a K, and I am from Devana. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and hopefully on point. So, very quick question. When did you, and by you, I don't mean you specifically, I mean the people you know, when did they last review their processes, their procedures, and their automation of those processes and procedures? Simple as that. When? If the answer was more than a year ago, then they need reviewing. If the answer is we don't have any, then they need creating. And for that, you need to talk to me. So I'm Catherine from Devana, and that's what we do.
Thank you, Catherine. Mark will be followed by Juliet.
Good morning, everybody. It's Mark from Seaphone Communications. Thanks for inviting me along this morning. My two passions are helping people and helping the environment. I help the environment simply because we have a forest and we plant trees for every solution that we sell to our clients. And the solutions that we sell to our clients are phone systems, much like Penn Telecom. We help schools and we help clinics and we help all sorts of businesses. In fact, we're also helping the NHS at the moment across the UK. And we've been around for 50 years, so we're doing things pretty well. And we get referred a lot by referrals to other people. That's it. That's me in a nutshell. So helping the environment, planting trees and selling phone systems. All the best.
Thank you, Mark. Juliet will be followed by Claire Church.
Good morning all. Juliet Edgar here at Your Friendly Wordsmith. I do what it says on the tin or on the label. I help you with your editing and proofreading services, whatever you have in writing. I can refine it for you, tidy it up, make it flow, and help you get your message across nice, clearly, concisely if you want, or we can embellish the language according entirely to what your needs are. For business purposes, you want clarity. You want to make sure that the message that you're sending is the one you actually want people to receive, because it's quite interesting, and I use that term very broadly, when people decide they know what they want to write, they send it out into the world, and then somebody tells them, I don't think you meant that. So basic rules for your writing: write it down, put all the points down that you want to include. If you want it in business and you want it clinical, fine. Work out what level you want, what level of language that you want, what tone you want, and get somebody else to check it. My mantra: never check your own work. And before you send it, check again. I have come across a few people who didn't prepare their words for the current season that we have now walked into, and had a few panicked messages saying, can you redo this for me? I'm very happy to do it redo for you, but you would have saved yourself so much stress and less grey hairs if you'd done that earlier. So anything you need, anything written down, you write, I refine, I will help your words make sense.
Thank you, Juliet. That's great. Claire will be followed by Favon.
Hi, Nick. Good morning. Sorry, I was late. So I got the wrong number. So I'm Claire Church, holistic therapist based in Waterlooville, Hampshire. I'm normally talking about de-stress techniques, and I am doing quite a lot with that at the moment in program. But something you might not know about me is I'm actually a teacher and guide initiated into a special mystery school, which is quite spiritual. And I'm looking to do my first training for new adepts, which is, new entrants to the school. I'm co-teaching that on November the 18th and 19th. And what that gives people is an amazing start on a sort of spiritual journey. So what we do is a 2-day course, and it involves things like learning about origins of the creation of the universe, who and what you are as a being, why humanity exists, nothing small, our progress and where we're going, things like universe cosmology, tools to clear negative blocks, the basics about Kabbalah, because that's seen as the most high spiritual sort of information we have, correct meditation techniques, information about the chakras, other sacred teachings, and then a physical initiation into that school. It's quite serious. So for anyone wanting to discover the mysteries of the universe, the truth, that is a very ancient lineage. So that's me, Claire Church. I'm also a holistic therapist. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Favon, can we see you, or is your camera still playing up? Ah, here she is.
Hi, good morning. So my name is Pavan. I'm from the HR department. We provide outsourced HR to SMEs, everything a large company would have, but at a fraction of the cost. At the HR department, we put your business first. And one of our mantras is we tell you what you can do and not what you can't do. So that captures our proactive approach. If you've got a HR job that needs doing, we'll get it done, and we'll try and get it done legally without a negative tribunal outcome. We help businesses grow successfully too, with the best people on your teams. So next time you hear a company having trouble with recruitment or a difficult employee or another staff issue, suggest they give me a call and we'll get that sorted. That's Pavan from the HR department, preventing people problems. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. And Anne has joined us. Anne, can you get your camera to work? No, I think.
Hi.
Yes, yes.
How do I do it? Sorry, how do I do it?
Pass. Click on the camera thing on the left.
Button. Camera bottom left.
Yes, yes. Hooray.
Hello.
Hi, Anne. Good to see you.
Thank you. Do you want me to
Over
speak
to you.
yet?
Over to you.
Sorry, I've just come off a work call. That's why I'm a bit hectic at the moment. We're doing a live installation for a synagogue this morning. For anybody that knows what this means, Shana Tova for the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And happy autumn. We've had a summer at long last. So I'm Anne, Ask One Design, and for 40 plus years, I do kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, home studies. I think I can see one of my clients there, Erica. Hello, good morning. Or Erica's friend is there this morning. So anything for the house you want fitted, I can help you. And I work with your fitters, my fitters. I also help people find builders and architects for home extensions. And most of my work is around Northwest London. So if you're interested, I'll put my details into chat. And at the moment, I'm just doing my synagogue up in Holland Park. We're sorting out their job for the autumn for the new rabbi coming in. Hope everybody's well and enjoyed summer last weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Anne. Okay, so I think everybody has been given the chance. Oh, and by the way, I'm Anik, wearing many hats. So clearly, I always like to mention 3 hats. First of all, I run these networks, and thank you all for supporting them, being here. Huge apology for canceling the mansion last week, but it was really, I really couldn't do it. And but we have got a good lineup for the end of the month, 27th of September, with 2 really great speakers, Claire Gardner and Dan Innes, who are going to talk to us what we need to do to look good on social media and everywhere else. So do come along if you can. Another thing I do, and I think they are aware at the moment, I'm a trustee of Help for the Homeless, the charity which has been founded by Lloyd and Shoshana Gilmore, and they go out every week helping the homeless in the streets of London. And it seems, I've been a few times, and I think Olivia has been as well. It's quite an amazing and humbling experience, and it's, you know, whenever you go, it's either too cold or it's too hot or it's raining, and these guys are out there in the streets. I mean, it is shocking that it's still happening. But Lloyd and Shoshana do an amazing job helping them make their lives a little bit more bearable. So really proud to be a trustee. And I also work, and I'm glad we've got 2 ladies from Iconos. This is really a law firm that's going places, and we are truly doing things differently. And the feedback we get from clients is absolutely amazing, because you know what, we talk to them in plain English, even me. So here we go. But what we are looking for as we are growing the firm is more consultant solicitors. We like to encourage the idea of flexible working, helping people who have got the qualifications but cannot would not take on a full-time job, like moms returning to work, older citizens, people who need to work flexibly because they are caring for someone. And we are looking for those people to work, you know, with us as commercial or corporate lawyers. And we are totally flexible. We all work from home, and we deliver great things for clients as well. So if you know anyone, any lawyer out there who would like to work with a friendly firm that's going places, just let me or Tanya or Flo know, because we're really looking for those people out there. So here we go. So now, well, bang on time, 8:30. This never happened. We are now going to listen to our speaker. And I had 2 calls this week from the FCA. How lucky am I? So the FCA was calling me twice with a very, very foreign voice, more foreign than mine, probably from Russia, about my Bitcoin account that is now reaching £10,000. My £10,000 Bitcoin account, and do I want to reinvest it or do I want to cash the money? And I'm thinking, okay, thank you guys. The FCA, wow, very impressive. So I reported the number twice now to the ICO, and the ICO is encouraging us to report those numbers. And I will put the link in the chat. And it's interesting. And what they want to do, of course, in order to help me capitalize this incredible amount I've got on Bitcoin, they want to put some software on my computer, and you know, so they can help me, you know, get the money. But luckily, I'm not going to fall for this. But sadly, as Francis is going to tell us, some people do fall for these things, and people do lose a hell of a lot of money. Because once, of course, that little piece of magic software is into my computer, they can access everything and probably empty my genuine bank accounts as well in the process. And it's so they are so believable as well. It's incredible. So Francis, over to you. Tell us what we must do to protect ourselves and why it's still happening. It is still happening. People are still falling for these things.
Just turn off your computer and turn off your phone. Simple. Job done. Well, thank you, Anik. You know, so first question is, Anik, how much time do I have? Because, you know, I can talk about this for 4 hours with a 5-minute break. Anik, you're on mute.
Sorry, I'm on mute. So what was the question?
How long would you like me to help the people on the screen today? In the
How
group?
long do you have? You've got 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Well, or more. I mean, what time is it? Yeah, you can. We'll have questions at the end, I'm sure.
Okay.
I must mute. I've got a man working in my bathroom.
So let me give you a bit of history. I think that would help. I've been in the IT support game for 33 years, always done security. But about 2 years before COVID, Graham, my business partner, and I saw something that I've never seen before. And that's what I call a tsunami of cyber attack, especially on smaller individuals, people, and businesses. And what's really sad is that every single day, I mean, in the last 10 days, I think we've dealt with 40 new cases. You know, if we look at last year, same time, would have probably been 2. You know, and I'll tell you about 2 recent cases. A good friend of mine called Jane Baylor, her daughter, she called me last Monday. She said her daughter is in Spain. She lost her phone. They got into a Monzo account and transferred £10,000 out of her account. Now, this girl's 24 years old. That's all her savings, all the hard work that she's done, everything. Now, good news for her is that, of course, she phoned me. I put her in touch with a guy that you'll hear from at our next LinkedIn Live event, and we managed to get her money back. We took on Monza and we got our money back, which is a very good news story. The other story, sadly, another lady that we helped in Canada, this was last year. You know, she's using a Mac and she thinks that she thought Macs are safe. She had a little pop-up, and very similar to Anik's experience, fell for a Bitcoin scam or investment scam. She lost $800,000. We couldn't get her money back. But the sad thing is she's just recently passed away about 3 weeks ago. But the thing is, when we installed our security software on a Mac, we found that there were a keylogger and also a browser hijacker sitting on her Mac. So everything she typed in confidence was all revealed back to the hackers and scammers. So I've only got a few, you know, for me, half an hour is nothing. So are there any burning questions that people would like to, that you'd like me to cover? Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you why people get scammed. I'll tell you the best way to potentially prevent yourself from getting scammed, and I'll share a lot more other information that would help you. So that's why I'm recording the session. I hope everybody's okay with that, so that when we're done, you can share this information with everybody you care for. And I always ask one thing. No, I like two things. One, please write a small LinkedIn review on the stuff you learned, just one thing that you learned today. And two, share this information with at least 10 other people, because this is how we help everybody. And you ask those 10 people to share with 10 people. So is there anybody that'd like me to run through a scenario or something that's happened to a friend or family member?
I think it would
Spoke
be
to a
useful
school
to
yesterday.
know why people still get scammed, because you know we are all being told to be careful, but people still fall for these things. That's
Sorry,
useful.
Mark, you were going to say?
I got a phone call from a school yesterday. I'd written a letter to them, seeing if they wanted help with phones and things. And they said, oh, sorry, don't email us at the moment. Got no email. Phone system, all right, email doesn't work. CRM systems don't work. Our pupil records are compromised. The police are involved. We're back to paper and pencil and the phone.
Would you mind recommending me to them, please, Mark, if at all possible?
Yeah, of course, of course.
You know, and this is the thing, just so that everybody knows a little bit more, because there's a few people here that do not know me. Everybody seen this? So this is a little sheep. I can now legally take a sheep over the London Bridge, because I've now been awarded the freedom of the city of London. And this is part of one of my panels that I sit on, which is the WCIT, the Worshipful Company Information Technologist. And that's how my massive journey started about a year before COVID. I joined my first security panel, and I'll tell you a quick story. I was sitting in this room with 40 people, and we all go around introducing each other. And when it came to my turn, and MI5 is sitting in the room, MI6 is sitting in the room. I mean, there's some top people. And I said, my mission is to educate and protect 100,000 people from cybercrime by 2023. And the chairman said, Roy Isabel, who's the senior lecturer of cyber for Warwick University, which is the largest faculty, said, Francis, only 100,000? Should be at least 10 million. I said, I'll tell you what, Roy, we'll settle at 1 million. And I achieved that target at the end of October last year, which I'm glad I managed to do. And now we've changed my mission. So our mission now is to protect at least 1 million businesses from cybercrime by 2026. And that's why I love doing this. And thank you so much for the opportunity again, Anik, because it helps me to spread the word and help a lot more people. Next month is Cyber Awareness Month, just in case you didn't know. So I post every single day on LinkedIn to educate and help people. We also run for the first Thursday of every month between 12 and 1 p.m. We do a cyber session on LinkedIn, and I've posted all the recordings in the chat. So please go and listen back to them, because the information you're going to learn in there will be, it'll be just that one thing that helps you. So why do people get scammed? For so many different reasons. I think people get scammed because, again, another story. Dealt with a case with a young gentleman. He was meant to fly to, what was one of the countries that were burning on holiday, a month ago. And he decided, okay, he can't go. He's going to take his young family, 2 kids, 3 and 4, to a campsite in Devon. Arrived in Devon. Guess what? No booking. So the poor guy sitting there with the 2 kids and the wife, and luckily the camp owner took pity on him and gave him a 30% discount, which I thought was honorable. But of course, he went to a website, saw a great deal, booked it, and fell for the scam. And, I've got such a long list now. I don't know if you've seen the scams with Wilco. Wilco shutting down today. But so many people have gone onto these fake Wilco websites and thought that for £7, they can actually buy a sofa. So what they are very, very good at, scammers, is play on people's emotion to get something for little money. And that lovely saying is so true. If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. But we're humans, we're busy. The kids are shouting, something is happening. You see a deal, You get your one of your mates or one of your friends' WhatsApp accounts gets hacked, emails come through, you believe it, you click on it, done. So that's I'll share with you some other ones. So when two Saturdays ago, another story, my sister, name is Sarah, she phones me at 6:30 from Johannesburg. I'm like, I was still sleeping. I'm like, why are you waking me up? I thought somebody's died. Anyway, she said, no, I'm booking this holiday to Portugal, and I just want to make sure that the link I'm using to book is real. I said, but why can't you phone me a little bit later and I'll give you the information? So I think this is my first top tip I want to give you. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to start showing you how to fix this problem in so many different ways. So the first screen, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to share all these things in the chat. So when you want to either book something, or you get a link on a text message, or on a WhatsApp message, or on a Facebook message, the first thing you want to do, or if you're going to book a hotel, go to this website. It's GetSafeOnline, brilliant website. I've been using it for years. I'll put it in the chat, and just copy and paste the link in there. And then immediately you would, with 99.99% confidence, you'll know that this is actually a legitimate, I can't even say it, a legitimate site. The other brilliant website that I use a lot is, has anybody heard of this website, WhoCalledMe? And again, what happens is you get a phone call, like you did, Anik. What should have happened there was, if you were maybe doubting whether this site is or this phone number or this company is legit, let's say, for argument's sake, you did have £10,000 in your account, something has happened in your business and you needed more money, you think, this is a great time to make some more money. What you do is you copy and paste that phone number into Who Called. Let me just copy and paste that into the chat again for us. And then the moment you put in the number and you click on the little search box, it will then go down and look here. It will show you how many other people have either reported the number or have flagged this number as a very dangerous number. So not only can you do that, but you can then also obviously report it here so that immediately other people are also aware that this phone number or this text message is a dodgy text message, right? Now, the other thing, of course, is the thing. Sorry, I'm just going to close my door for a second.
Sorry, James, can you give the name of that website to check new websites or strange websites?
It's who-called.co.uk.
Okay, but no, the other one for website checking?
Oh, the other one is GetSafeOnline.org/check a website.
GetSafeOnline?
Yeah, I did put it on the chat there, Vijay.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, all in the chat. So I'm sure Anik will send it afterwards, if that's all right.
Okay.
So, but let's talk about the process, because this is so important, because we can minimize scams, but we need to teach people how to deal with the problem. So if you have an accident, what do you do? What's the best way of dealing with it? And there's so many different methods, but the simplest one's always the best ones. So when that call came in, Anik, what you should have done, what you've done partly is good. You've reported it to the ICO, but the next thing you have to do also is to send that phone number. Has anybody heard of 7726? So 7726 is a free service that if you copy and paste that phone number, whether it's a landline number or a mobile, you copy and paste that, open up your phone, open a new message, type in 7726, which, so by the way, spells the word spam on your keypad. So you should never forget it. And then you put in that number, and that number then gets reported to Ofcom. And normally within minutes or seconds, they take that number down. So a lot of people say to me, why should I even bother reporting, because nothing happens? No, there's a lot that happens in the background. Thousands of these numbers are being taken down every day because of people like you and me that take the effort to report it. So that's step number one. Step number two is go into your phone, go all the way to the bottom and block the number. Step number three, delete that message, whether it's a text message or a WhatsApp message. Never, ever, ever forward that message to anybody else. If you want to make people aware, take a screenshot, you know, like a photo of your screen, and then share that with other people, but never forward the message. Why? Because sometimes in that message will be a link, and in that link takes you to an infected site, which will infect your phone or your computer. You with me? So that's why it's so important to follow that process every single time. I'll give you another one. So, and this is so, I so wish people knew about this. So imagine the following: you've just fell for a scam, and you made a payment, whether it's £50, £100, £1,000, doesn't matter. The sooner you can report it to your bank, the sooner you can potentially stop that transaction from going on through, right? And what you then do next is you dial 159 on your phone. Why? Because the moment you dial 159, you can try this after the session today, it'll put you through, it'll say, okay, which bank are you with? It'll say Barclays, you click number 3, you go through to Barclays, and immediately you straight through the report department. And you tell them, listen, I've just made a payment, I've made a mistake, can we please stop this transaction? That's the fastest way you can deal with this. It's such an easier thing, but it's the best thing. Now, let me tell you about some other brilliant, not in a good way, of course, you know, scams. We dealt with a pub the other day, and you know, on the counter when you buy your drinks, there was a little stand. You know, enter your details, scan this QR code, and and you can win a meal. So what somebody did was they printed another QR code that links to another site and stuck it on top of the existing QR code. Thousands of people entered, obviously went to a site that looked like that site, looked like the pub site, and thousands of people entered their name, their last name, their card details, because they say to win this prize, where do we pay it into? Please give your bank details or card details, and also the email address. Thousands. Now, let me tell you how easy it is to spot a dodgy QR code. When you feel the urge to scan a QR code, and before I move on, I'll tell you, before I give you the answer, same with parking, you know, you go to parking lots. So you scan the QR code to make your payment at a parking lot. The best way to test whether that's a real QR code is just take your nail on the edge of the QR code and see if that's embedded in the print, or whether there's maybe a sticker sitting on top of the existing QR code. And that's the way you can stop this, because otherwise, how do you know? But a better way, because again, what we're seeing a lot now is that QR codes are taking people to infected websites or infected applications, right? As I've said, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, and I'll quickly put it in the chat. I want you, a lot of people, probably 99% of people that we meet do not have any protection on their mobile devices. Now, let me fix that problem for you right now. So there's a brilliant piece of software called Sophos Intercept X for mobile. You can download this for free from the App Store, and the moment you install it, it will not only protect your phone, but it'll also protect you from, you know, dodgy Wi-Fi networks, and it'll give you instant protection on your phone. But the best bit of it now, which is a new feature, which I'm going to show you, is if you open up Sophos, because I know some of you have done this already. The little icon, please download the right one. You can see it's a blue one with a white circle with 2 lines through it. If you open it up, at the top left, there's the hamburger bar. And in there, there's the third one down, it says secure QR code scanner. So if you click on that, now you can scan a QR code safely. So that's the way you deal with QR code scanners. Now let me show you a few more things here. I don't know if has anybody received these emails from Which? They are actually brilliant. So if you haven't, please subscribe to Wix, so that you can see the information. You can get scam alerts on your phone, or on your text or on your emails, which just tells you about the latest stuff. And I recommend you do the same. Sign up your staff members, sign up your mom, sign up your dad, sign up your cousin, your kids, everybody on this, even if they didn't know that you did it, because at least it'll just keep this front of mind for them. Because remember, when it comes to this stuff, the only cure is prevention. And this is why knowledge is one part. So here's another one. You know, the lady that got done, the girl who lost her 24K, she got the money back. The reason why they were able to get into a Monzo account is because then she never had a SIM pin turned on. Now, for people here that do not know what a SIM pin is, right now, I can take your SIM out, your phone, and I can put it into another phone, and I've just bypassed all your biometrics. Which means if I know that you, for some reason, I know you with Lloyd's, I can download your Lloyd's bank account onto my phone. Remember, this is another phone. I can then, guess what? When you go into Lloyd's, it says, let me verify who you are. And guess what it does? It sends a text message back to the SIM, which is now sitting in another phone. And that's how hackers and scammers get straight into your phone. There's another way. But the point is, if you turn on your SIM pin, then immediately you've just avoided anybody from transferring your SIM from one phone to another. Also, if they manage to do a scam on your O2 or Vodafone and say, listen, I want you to, I've just lost my phone. Please, can you transfer my SIM, my number to this new SIM? You won't believe, we dealt with 3 cases with EE 2 weeks ago where that happened. But the moment you turn on your SIM pin, you've just stopped that process as well. So they cannot, what we call SIM swap your phone. So again, don't do that just yet, because there's a step-by-step instructions how to do that. But it's such a brilliant way to stop this. Now, the next one, gift card scam. Bloody, we dealt with a case again the other day, and I noticed there's a few new people working with you, Anik. And when you get a new staff member, what's the first thing that happens? You ask them to update the LinkedIn profile, right? So scammers are constantly watching LinkedIn profiles to see whether they've got new staff at a business. And then what happens is they will then social engineer that person and then find out what the email address of the CEO, and then they'll send an email from the CEO to Jane, who's now 23 years old, who's just joined the business because they saw it on LinkedIn. And guess what happens next? So Jane gets an email, go, oh, you know what? We're going to a show tomorrow, and I forgot to mention to you earlier, we need to buy 5 £100 gift cards because we're going to hand them out as prizes. This poor girl went to Argos and she bought 5 £100 gift cards with her own credit card. And of course, then she lost the money. And now the debate is whether the owner, the CEO, should give her money back. That's another story. However, the other good news I can share with you on that one is that I saw this personally the other day when I was at Argos. Argos is now checking, especially younger people, and say, why do you need these gift cards? And I saw them stop or preventing sale of gift cards to this young person, which I think is so commendable. Now, let me move on. There's so much to share in so little time. Action fraud. Also, another brilliant, I don't know if you know this, but if you know somebody or you think you've fallen for a scam, then please go and report it to Action Fraud. There's the phone number as well. Just call them straight away. You know, the sad thing is, however, that unless you've lost more than £10,000 in the UK, you will not even get a phone call back. And believe me, we work with 6 of the cyber police units around the country. They just don't have the manpower. And that's why, for me, the whole prevention thing is so important. The other brilliant site, I'm going to share these links anyway with everybody. The National Cybersecurity Center, again, you know, the guidance they have in here and the information they have in here. If you've got a business, or even if you're a small business, put 1 hour every month in the diary and find information, or you subscribe to our tips. We send out tips every Sunday. But find a section here and share this with as many people as you can. Just 1 hour a month. That's it, you know. OWL, brilliant. I don't know if you've seen the latest OWL update. So earlier, when we started the meeting, I posted a link with a book called the little scam book. What a brilliant, and the link is there. So go and download this PDF. Why? I mean, this is Hertfordshire based, and I must admit, I'm so impressed with the information they're sharing at the moment. And that reminds me, okay, so if we all have parents, right? And parents are the most vulnerable because they're older, they're so trusting to fraud, to scam frauds like this, especially when money is involved, okay? So they are bombarded with phone calls. Do you know what a quick way to fix this problem? I'm sure they don't let them have a landline. Switch the thing off. Let them have a mobile phone. And then on the mobile phone, go into settings and put in your main contacts. Let's say it's your mom, your brother, your sister, and maybe the uncle or auntie. Let's say there's 5 numbers. Add those to their contacts. And then there's a slider that says, do not accept calls except from contacts in my phone. And by doing that, you've just stopped everybody getting through to them and putting them under that pressure to make that decision in the first place to speak to people. Simple thing, but they're the best. But here's the thing. I mean, again, what a lovely summary. It's all about urgency. That there's nothing in this world that's urgent, apart from if somebody's lying next to you and they're about to die. That to me is urgent. Everything else can wait. So I always say to people, if you get a call or if you get anything, just put the phone down and say you'll phone them back. And then either phone me or phone, Ben at the office, or phone your sister, your brother, uncle, auntie, and just calm down and get the information. Because romance fraud, I mean, we haven't even got there yet. But, so many of those men and women are getting caught every day and losing thousands because they're even they're shy, they're embarrassed that they even fell for it. So a lot of people don't report this, but the more we speak about this and open, the less people are going to get done. Offers to help request. You can see, I'm going to fix your computer. My mother-in-law was one click away from losing £8,000 through a Amazon scam. Luckily, she had the wisdom to ask my father-in-law to phone me. So I went there. I was there at her house within 8 minutes, and I recorded the whole session. I love these people. I keep them on the phone as long as possible, and I urge you to do the same. Just go with it, because the longer we can keep them on the phone, the less they're going to be able to phone somebody else and scam them out of thousands of pounds. So just let them talk to you as long as you can. Charities. I was meant to share a slide here with you, which I'll show you quickly here. It's sad because so many charities and schools are getting done because they don't have the money to use the level of protection that we can provide. But and a lot of charities are targeted. Why? Because they have contacts on their databases of rich donors. So they're used as a conduit. And that's how, but we look at this phishing attack. So talking about attacks and scams, 94% of attacks coming by email. And a lot of people think that, I'm with Office 365 or I'm with Google Workspaces. They do your My Security. No, they don't. They do your email. If you want the 94% attacks to disappear or to be wiped out, come and talk to us. We'll show you how it's done. We implement email security that fixes the problem immediately. So if we go down, the different types of, even another scam that I saw the other day, which is called whaling now. No, sorry, angler, which is clever. So let's say you've got a problem with your kef cooker, right? So you go onto Twitter and you start saying, listen, I've got a problem with my kef cooker. The scammer will then watch these chats and they will intercept, no problem, we'll send you another one. But we have to pay for delivery, it's £50. And you think it's a bargain because you're now going to get a brand new £500 kef cooker for 50 quid. You just have to pay delivery. It's such a clever scam. And here you can see, again, the breaches, different types of scam. I spoke about Amazon, the payment scams, and this is another one. You've got to be so careful. Look at this. There are now over 60,000 infected apps on the App Store. That's mental. And both Apple and Google and Microsoft don't spend the time to take these down, which I think is shocking. Invoice fraud. Again, we dealt with another company the other day that lost tens of thousands of pounds in invoice fraud. Why? Because they didn't have email security in place. If they did, that email would have never landed in in the inbox in the first day. Here's the angular thing I'm talking about. I spoke of passwords, you know, and again, a lot of people get scammed because they find their passwords on the dark web. Once I've got one password, I can then try every other account. So again, the advice here is never, ever, ever, ever to use the same password more than once. And if you want to, you say, oh, but it's so difficult to remember. It's simple. You just get a good password manager. You know, a few people on the call here already use this, which is great. I spoke about the supply chain. I cannot stress how important this is. I mean, now in the last 12 months, the attacks have gone up by 430%. You need to make very sure that the people you deal with are securing your data. We now, so at the point where we will not deal with the business unless they're running our security software. Simple as that, because otherwise they can't guarantee to us that they're holding our data secure. Look at this again, 98% of, and this is why I would say 99% of cases we deal with on a daily basis could have been prevented. I've already shared this with you. Again, if you get an email through, please report it, you know, report it to report@phishing.gov.uk. I've told you about 7726. I've told you about action fraud. There's something else I want to show you. Yeah, this is it. Let me show you this. If we go back to so for my sins, I now serve on 6 security panels, including the Home Office, but 2 of them are the cyber resilience centers. And I don't know if you know, but there are 9 cyber resilience centers in the country, and they do amazing work to help people and businesses, whether you're individual or business. I'm now even working on a work stream with them to protect 1 million small businesses in London alone, which is going to keep us very busy. But my advice here is go and join for free. It is free to join. It takes you seconds. So anybody you know, even your customers, tell your customers, listen, we take this stuff seriously. Did you know that there's a cyber resilience center in London that can help you and give you advice and service and blah, blah, blah. Please, would you mind if I sign you up? And they'll think you're great because they'll think that you care about their data. So I've told you about this. I'm watching the time. Cyber helpline. I work very closely with these people. They've got a free helpline. You don't need to phone them. You can phone us. But point is, there is so much help out there. I've told you about this. I'm watching the time. I've given you a lot of information. I'm trying to think of something that I haven't shared with you yet. Gift card scam. I don't know who's heard about Cyber Essentials. Again, another thing I'm going to recommend to you. Cyber Essentials is a government organized accreditation, which I believe is going to become mandatory. So it's like an MOT for a car. So every year, your business, even if you're one-man band, as business will go through this accreditation. It's not expensive. It's about £350. But if you look at the bottom of all our emails, you'll see the logo, Cyber Essentials, which tells your customers that you've gone through a cybersecurity MOT and you've got all the right things in place. So my advice to you, what's going to happen very soon is that you will not be able to get cyber insurance if you do not have your Cyber Essentials accreditation. You will not be able to get onto frameworks. You will not be able to do business with larger companies unless you've got Cyber Essentials. So if you want more information about it, please come and talk to us. So hopefully I've given you loads and loads of information, and all I can ask is please share this with other people so we can help them. Thank you.
Thank you, Frances. This was amazing. I will try to summarize all the links and everything in the follow-up email, so everything is in one place. It is absolutely amazing. Has anybody got any questions, first of all? Yeah,
yes,
Mark.
I would like to say...
Oh, Olivier, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you very much, Frances. You gave much more information than I expected, and I know every time you give loads of information. Just to say quickly, Frances, you helped me with my SIM security, which is now my phone. So to get access to my phone, I now have 2 very specific access codes that I need to type in, which makes me feel very, very safe. The other thing I would like to say that I'm a trustee of a charity, and the director of the charity on a Friday night received a phone call from his bank, supposedly. And he's a seasoned business person. And the person on the other end of the phone was so convincing. And they were watching him through his camera on his laptop.
Yeah.
His every move. And they managed to convince him to transfer £80,000 into a different bank account. And of course, he couldn't get to the bank on a Friday night. And when he did get to the bank on Monday morning, it was a fraud.
Yeah.
And it's taken 2.5 years, but thankfully the bank paid it back.
Now, that's a great point you've made there, Oliver, because we are now working with another company who's setting up a trauma unit. Because only last week they dealt with a company owner who lost 250,000. So what you've got to think about, not only do people lose money, but think about how many people get infected in the business. It's not just you, it's the staff that gets affected, it's the family members, it's whether it's you, maybe you have to take your kids out of private school. There's so many people, and this is what I always say to people get really cross when they phone us twice. They get cross because they were done or they were scammed or lost money, and they get really cross when they found out that it would have cost them £37 a month to avoid it in the first place if they used our services. Do you know, this stuff is so easy to fix in my head, but you just have to have the right protection in place. It's that simple. But most people take a chance. They think, well, it won't happen to me. I'm only one-man band. It won't happen to me. And I'm like, yeah, you should go and buy a lottery ticket.
And I have your security software on my desktop here. And your company called me, your colleagues called me twice to say I was the object of an attack. Twice in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So thank you, Francis.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So for like these one-man bands out there, is there something we can do as a self-check to check our computers or to check our firewalls to see if our computers are compromised or if our organization is compromised, like a pen test or some sort of online scan?
Our computer security costs all of £15 a month. That includes our security operations center of 200 people plus a ransom guarantee. Will cost you £15 plus VAT per month. So the moment we install it, that's when we run our first scan. So, and again, we find stuff. I hope we don't on yours, but we find stuff all the time. And so it'll cost you 15 quid to do what you just asked.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll put a link in the chat.
Okay. And do you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask politely, Francis. I was doing my best to listen, but you're talking quick and I speak quick. What is the SIM card? I don't understand. I have a SIM card in my Apple phone. What were you saying about the protection? Sorry, could you run that a little bit again?
Okay, it's such an important question, and I hope we can can I go through a little bit more detail, Anik?
Yeah, yes, please. It's so important. If people want, absolutely.
So let's get a comparison for you. Right now, if you go into your bank, right, you can't get into the bank unless you have a PIN. Would you agree?
Like you mean to pay, take money out the cash point?
So that's another great tip I need to share with you if I forget. I'll come back to that, Anne, 1 second. Here's another top tip for you that's cost nothing that would prevent any type of fraud, okay? Let's say you've got a business partner or you've got your partner, you're with a husband or wife, and I want you to go into the middle of a rugby field or football field, and I want you to agree a 10-letter word, 0 to 9. You might have to add 2 words together. Now, leave your iPhone, your mobile phone, everything electronic on the side of the pitch so that nothing can listen to you whilst you're standing in the middle of the football pitch. So, and I've got mine, which I've shared with Graham, my business partner, and with my wife. So let's say something happens and you may be in the Bahamas and you can't talk, which, so by the way, I can now copy anyway. So let's park that for a minute. So when you need to make a transaction of any kind, or even a personal one, all you do is you say, no problem, can you give me the 2nd and the 9th character of our word? Now, there's no person on the planet that's going to know that information apart from you two or you three. And if you don't get the information, you know you're not talking to the right person. It is that simple. That's how you prevent scams, ladies and gentlemen, of any kind. Do the same. Have a family safe word with your kids. So if ever they're in trouble, you go, no problem, give me the 1st and the 6th character. You know, nobody is going to know this information, and you never write it down. So let's go back to your question, Anne. The problem with phones or SIMs is that you can, you know, when you set it up, you can, with an iPhone, you can have face recognition, you know, before it unlocks, or you can put a code in before it unlocks. That's to do with the phone. It's not to do with the SIM. So what you do, if somebody can get hold of your phone, all they have to do is take the SIM out, put it into another phone, and you've completely bypassed all the security on that phone.
Hang on, that bit I understand, because when I get into my phone, I put a PIN number in. If ever I use my online banking, I have to put my eyes into a round circle, even if I'm giving you £5, otherwise it won't transfer the £5.
Which is brilliant, but not all the banks. Who's that? Lloyd's?
No, NatWest.
NatWest, right? They're getting better. But now here's the thing, right? And this is what happened to that other lady. And also we had, if you listen back, I put the recordings of last month where we spoke about scams. And there's a lovely lady called Fiona Brunton, who sits at the deepest, darkest of Scotland, single small business. She does tenders, and she shared a story of what happened and, of course, how we helped her. But basically, somebody phoned EE and convinced EE that they need to transfer the SIM, her number, to another SIM. So once that happened, they got into a bank and they did 4 credit card transfers out of her bank. She lost 13,000. Luckily, she got her money back. Okay. But here's my advice. So when you go into, and please don't do this now, because if you get this wrong, you're going to brick your phone. So I'll tell you how the process works. And then, so if you go into settings on your iPhone, you then go to mobile data. Well, where's mobile data? Mobile data, mobile data, mobile data. I just always search for it. I just search for SIM PIN, 2 words, SIM PIN. Okay. Once you go to SIM PIN, yeah, you see SIM PIN under mobile data. It's there. So please don't, I say this again, don't turn it on now. Then at the halfway down the screen, you'll see SIM PIN. So if you click on SIM PIN, you can see mine is turned on at the moment because I don't like people stealing my stuff. So the process is as follows. I'm going to tell you the process and then email me so we do it together. Because so many people have done this, got this wrong, and then they brick the phone and then they spend an hour with O2 or EE to fix this problem. But that's a good thing, because guess what? If your SIM ends in the wrong people's hands, that's going to happen to them as well. So they can't steal any of your data. So you first, let's say, who's your provider?
Utility Warehouse.
So the SIM PIN, they're all different, so by the way, and again, I can post them for you all now. So every SIM, every provider has got a different default SIM PIN. Now, Utility Warehouse is 1210. Don't do it now. So what you do, and I'll tell you the process, because remember this is recorded, so you can go listen to this afterwards and do it in your own time. You click on the slider that says Enable SIM PIN. It's going to pop up and say, give me your default SIM. In your case, the default SIM, you type in 1210 and you click Done. Now, for some reason, sometimes the slider doesn't show that it's turned on. So you've got to literally come out of that section, go back into that section, and now you see the green sliders turned on. The next step is you click on Change PIN. So when you click Change PIN, you've got to read the screen. It says, give me your existing PIN. The existing PIN, remember, is 1210. Then you click Done. Then it pops up, okay, give me your new PIN. And please remember this, do not forget this PIN, because if you forget this PIN, you're going to cry like a baby. And this is what happened with the VW dealer on Saturday morning. He phoned me because he couldn't remember. Luckily, I remembered that it was his daughter's birth year. So you put in a 4-digit PIN, and then you click done, and then it asks you for the same PIN again, same PIN, the new one that you're going to remember in again, and then you click save. That's the process. Once you've done that, nobody can ever clone your SIM or steal your SIM out of your phone and use it against you.
That would never be the same PIN number as the 4-pin code I use to open my phone. Because what I'm understanding is when I open my phone, that's one set of pins. The SIM card is a completely different set of pins, correct?
Yeah, it's only 4 digits. And now the only time you'll ever be asked for that SIM is when you reboot your phone, when you update your phone, or if you run out of battery on your phone, it'll pop up and ask you for that PIN first before you put in your normal PIN.
Right.
But please do this, and do this for your kids as well. But go and write that number down somewhere where you're never going to forget it.
Luckily, I have 2 grandchildren produced by my daughter. Very conveniently, I can use their birthdays.
But you need to remember them, though, because you're going to go, oh, and which one did I put in? With the younger or the older one?
I could do that.
Anyway.
Thank you, guys. Tip of my tongue had a different question on PIN numbers, but my mind's gone blank. But I can ask you one very quick one. So sorry. I do have a very, very bad habit. It's a very bad habit, and I'm sorry to tell the group, but I tend to use one password because it's just easy for me to remember. No. So after this meeting, do I have to